G'day and welcome to ReDriven. Now, the brand new Nissan Z has been announced and chances are it's going to be superb. A 3-litre twin-turbo V6 engine, rear-wheel drive, 298 kilowatts, 475 newton-meters, and the option of a 6-speed manual transmission or 9-speed automatic, all wrapped in a sexy retro-influenced 2-door coupe body shell. But the new Z got us wondering, for what it's going to cost brand new, what else could you buy in the used car market? What other second-hand cars are out there that tick all the Z boxes for the same price of admission? But look, before we get into this, a quick rule. To be considered for this list, these cars had to be internationally and readily available, even though it's starting to look like the new Z isn't going to make it to Europe. Also, as we don't know the exact Australian pricing as of yet, we're basing this list around the reported US pricing of around about $40,000 to $45,000, and therefore the predicted price here in Australia should be around about the $65,000 mark. Anyway, look, there were loads of potential contenders for this list, but here are our top 5 picks for Nissan Z alternatives. Let's kick this off with the most obvious challenger to the new Z. It's the Toyota Supra. Such a similar recipe, yet formulated in quite a different way. The 2020 Supra, like the Z, packs a turbocharged 3-litre 6-cylinder under its curvaceous body. Only that the Supra relies on a single twin-scroll turbo versus the Z's pair of fire-breathing snails. Power is sent to the rear wheels just like the Z, but unlike the Z, forget about the option of a manual transmission. And how much power are we talking? Well, the swoopy Toyota, BMW, pumps out 250 kilowatts and 500 newton-meters, meaning that while the Z wins on power by 48 kilowatts, it loses on torque with 25 newton-meters less. Overall size is very close between the two, although the Z will most likely tip the scales just a little heavier. And while the Supra is more expensive when new, the used market has seen the Toyota drop to within the Z's financial firing line. There is another modern Japanese coupe that is worth an honourable mention. It's the 5-litre V8 Lexus RCF. Yes, at this price, it will be 5 or 6 years older, and it's more of a GT car than a sports car like the Z, but still a definite alternative. Next up, we figured, what about something a little bit more classic, like something a bit more old school, but it still has to embrace that Japanese sports car ethos? It's the Mazda RX-7. For the price of a new Z, you can pop yourself behind the wheel of one of the most beautiful Japanese sports cars of all time, the 3rd generation FD RX-7. Sure, the 206 kilowatt, 294 newton meter twin turbo 13B power plant may seem down on power, and look, it is by 92 kilowatts and 181 newton meters, but as we all know, the FD RX-7 will easily match the Z's outputs with just a few intelligent modifications. But the RX-7 was always about so much more than just power and acceleration. The way the RX-7 steers and handles is incredible, and it offers a completely unique driving experience with its lightweight 90s tactility. Add to the fact that 90s and noughties Japanese performance cars are appreciating in value, and the RX-7 might actually win over your head as well as your heart. The budget that the new Z falls into won't get you behind the wheel of, say, a Spirit R or even a mint condition Series 8 of any variant. That ship has already sailed. But for this money, you should be able to find something that isn't so valuable and precious that you'll never end up driving it, but is still good enough to embrace the upward market trends that are hitting this genre of car right now. And now for something completely different, and with a badge far more impressive. For the price of a new Z, you can get yourself behind the wheel of a Porsche Cayman S. That's right, the sublime handling mid-engined Porsche coupe in 2nd generation 987 and S form can be all yours for the price of a new Z. So it's either going to be, oh, so what do you drive? Oh, I've got a Nissan. Or, oh, so what do you drive? Oh, I've got a Porsche. But ignoring the pretentious aspects of owning the sporty German, the Cayman, especially in this S variant, is a phenomenal car. Okay, look, yes, it is getting a little bit long in the tooth, although that's not something that's ever been a major issue for Porsche sports cars. It's also 70 kilowatts and 135 newton meters down on power versus the Z, and while many wrongly consider the Cayman to be the Porsche you buy when you can't afford a 911, the driving experience in this small, perfectly balanced alternative more than makes up for its shortcomings. There actually is another totally worthy alternative when it comes to sublime handling mid-engine sports cars for around about the same price as the new Z. It's the Lotus Evora. And it might have made an appearance on one of our top 5 lists as well. The link is just up there. Now, what if you want something with a bit more muscle? Well, there are a couple of options, but our pick is the Ford Mustang GT. For new Z money, you should be able to get yourself behind the wheel of even a 2020 Mustang GT, powered by Ford's glorious 5-litre Coyote V8. Power actually trumps the new Z by 41 kilowatts and 81 newton meters. However, size and more importantly weight is predicted to also top the Z. However, like the Z, the pony car is available as either a manual or an automatic, is obviously front-engined and rear-wheel drive, and perfectly executes its retro-inspired aesthetic. Sure, while it is similar in layout, the new Z should offer a completely different genre of driving experience, but there's still no denying this generation of Mustang is still a very appealing thing. And it may also be just slightly more appealing than the other muscle car alternative to the Z. It's the 6.2-litre V8 engined 2010 Chevrolet Camaro. Guys, if you're enjoying this video, can I please ask a favour? Can you hit those like, subscribe and bell icon buttons? It helps us out so much. And after the video, go and check us out on the socials. So when it comes to sporty European alternatives, look, there's a stack of different options out there, but there's one car that we feel is the most convincing challenger to the new Z. It's the BMW F87 M2. While the likes of the F82 M4, the E92 M3, the 6.3-litre V8 version of the AMG C63, the AMG C43, and even the Audi S5 and TTRS, they all hover around the same price as the new Z, and look, they all offer fantastic performance and they're all genuine alternatives. We just feel that the M2 comes the closest to giving the Z car a real run for its money. Both run a 3-litre 6-cylinder engine with forced induction. Both send their power to the rear wheels via either a manual or automatic transmission. Both are nearly identical in size and wheelbase, and their output figures are the closest of all the cars on this list. However, the M2's temporary overboost function will actually see the BMW regain the lead in terms of torque with a 25 Nm advantage. Even from a design aspect, both cars offer a unique aesthetic, both are relatively practical, and while the Z is obviously a new car and will come with a full factory warranty, the BMW comes with all the brand panache that the coveted M badge provides. Now look, all of that brings us to the entire point of this video. We want to know what you would buy. Would you go and buy a brand new Nissan Z, or for the same amount of money, a used BMW M2? Or do you go with one of the other cars on this list? Or for the same money as the new Nissan Z, do you buy a completely different car? We want to know your thoughts. Please let us know in the comments. Also, while you're at it, can you give those like, subscribe and bell icon buttons just a little bit of a tickle? And after you've told us what car you'd buy for the same amount of money as a Nissan Z, go and check us out on the socials. See you next time. While mainly... I could... Whoa. All hover around the 6.3-litre V8, either a manual or 2 for 2, Cal. What is going on there?